So ever since its launch back in 2015, there has always been a constant in Siege lore that has been happening to this day, and that is the fact that there has been a director of Team Rainbow, also known as Six. Now back when Siege actually launched, the director of Rainbow Six, codenamed Six, was a character known as Aurelia Arnot. Now Aurelia was actually played by the actress Angela Bassett. You may know her as Queen Ramonda in Black Panther, but she was actually the one who petitioned for the reactivation of Team Rainbow after the threat of the White Masks emerged. So because of this, she was made the director of Rainbow with the codename Six. Now she was actually the director of Team Rainbow all the way up into early 2019, where she was actually offered a position of the US Secretary of State under the current President Baldwin. And fun fact, Warden was actually a part of this president's security team, and when this president finished his second term in office, he actually helped Warden get into Team Rainbow. But that's a story for another time. But going back to Aurelia, with her taking up this new position in the government, that means that the role of Six was left unoccupied. And so when Aurelia was acting as Six, she actually had people working underneath her. One of them was a psychological and military cultural advisor, going by the name of Dr. Harishva Pandey, aka Harry. Aurelia extended the offer to become the new Six to Harry, and he accepted. And so, with this new change in leadership, Harry was the new Six. However, he didn't like to be called Six, he just wanted everyone to call him Harry. Unlike Aurelia, Harry had a way bigger hand in the lore and the interactions with operators, and he conceived a new system known as the Program. This was the beginning of Harry's reign as a director of Rainbow Six and what he'll shape the team to be. He promoted Mira and made her the acting director of the R&D division. He sought out a new location for the operators to train and have a home outside of their own homes, and he found this in an abandoned stadium in Greece, becoming the new home of Team Rainbow. Now another major thing that Harry done was recruit Nighthaven into Team Rainbow, which did kind of end on sour terms. However, in the current lore, it seems like Nighthaven and Rainbow are sort of kind of building their bridges back with the introduction of the new villain, Deimos. And I know a lot of you guys are probably waiting for me to get to the point of this video, but I need to set it all up for it to make sense. So over the years, as being the director of Rainbow, Harry recruited even more operators, both from Nighthaven and from different countries, CTUs, and even unaffiliated branches, even bringing in the legendary soldier Sam Fisher. So Harry was doing well as a director. He had Sam Fisher working as his second-hand man. Relationships between operators are as strong as ever. However, that did all boil up into the Nighthaven situation, which caused Nighthaven and a few Rainbow operators to actually leave Team Rainbow and branch off back to being a private military organization. In the wake of this, Harry deconstructed Team Rainbow and made 4 squads. Wolfguard ran by Doc, Redhammer ran by Thermite, Ghost Eyes ran by Kavera, and Viper Strike ran by Habana. And now, of course, recently in the lore, we actually did lose Harry to the new villain Deimos, who has been pulling the strings this whole time between the Nighthaven and Rainbow conflict, and has the goal of taking out the entirety of Team Rainbow, with the director of Rainbow, Harry, being his first victim. To the lore, that is where we are. Viper Strike did try and take out Deimos, but were not successful in that. You can check out yesterday's video to see that. But with Harry being killed, there does leave the question, who's going to be the new director of Team Rainbow? And in that cinematic where we actually do lose Harry, he actually answers this question. The new director of Rainbow is no one. The entire time that Harry was being the director of Rainbow, he was training the operators to lead for themselves. They no longer need one person at the top to manage them all. Harry put in the work and separated them all into their new individual counterterrorism units, which we went over a bit earlier, ran by Doc, Thermite, Cav, and Habana. And as well as this, and judging by the key art of the new year, I do think that Kali/Nighthaven will start working with these squads once again in the wake of Harry's death and the rise of Deimos. So I guess one way of looking at it is Team Rainbow as a whole is all of these operators united. But Harry saw the end goal of all this and knew that they had to lead themselves one day if they were going to be better and stronger, and that's why he separated them into the squads, allowing them to thrive on their own. Like how he says in the cinematic, it's their unit now. They don't need a leader. And he clearly knew that the task was too much for one of the operators alone, hence why he separated them into 4 different squads, who do still all work together, but have the operators that work underneath them following their commands. For example, when you take a list of squads, Thermite is the leader of Redhammer, and one of the operators who are working under Redhammer is Tachanka. Thermite is the leader of Tachanka and Ash and Sledge and all the other Redhammer operators. He calls the shots, he recruits new operators into the team, and he is their leader. However, although he does work with other squads such as Wolfguard, Ghost Eyes, and Viper Strike, he doesn't call the shots for those operators. He has no control over Mozzie and Vigil since they're part of Ghost Eyes. They follow Kavera. We can see in the cinematic before Harry's death that the operators working on this task contained both leaders and squad members. You can even hear Thermite actually calling the shots for the Redhammer operators, which was Sledge and Ash in this cinematic, but then you also had Ghost Eyes leader Kavera working with Zofia. However, they are still working together as one big team. And just like in the recent Viper Strike trailer as well, you had the new operator Brava, Capitao, and the Viper Strike leader Habana. I just want to quickly say as well, no, Ash and Thermite and the other operators did not die in that cinematic. There's a very simple rule when it comes to any form of visual storytelling: if you don't see someone die on screen, they're not dead. It doesn't make sense right now from a narrative standing point point anyway for the operators to die. I know a lot of people probably wanted Sam Fisher to become the director of Team Rainbow, but considering he isn't even the leader of the Ghost Eyes squad, I don't think that's going to be the case. And like I just explained, I doubt there'll ever be a director of Rainbow again. I think the mantle of 6 is over. Aurelia did act as 6, but she made herself replaceable and was at one point replaced by Harry. And Harry took a different form of management to make sure that he didn't need to be replaced. If he died like he did, they could handle themselves. And that is why when new operators are now introduced to the game, they're actually introduced via a squad and not just into Team Rainbow. For example, Brava was recruited by Habana into the Viper Strike squad. Sense was recruited by Doc into Wolfguard. So these squad members now have the authority as well to introduce new soldiers into their squads. So any power that 6 kind of had has been separated into these 4 operators for their respective squads. Now, we do know that the operators are still working together. I do also believe that Mira is still the head of R&D and will still be making gadgets for many operators, even if they aren't in her squad. At the end of the day, they are still in contact with each other and working together, like we've seen in the cinematic. It had Ghost Eyes and Redhammer. We also seen in the Brittle Storm comic as well that Wolfguard and Ghost Eyes were working together with Sense and Nook. And of course, we're definitely going to see more synergies between the squads in the future. And if you haven't noticed by now, when you're actually playing in-game, next time you pull up your phone, look for the squad icon which is on that operator's phone. I think at the time of upload, Redhammer operators don't have that yet, but you can check it on Wolfguard, Ghost Eyes, Nighthaven, and Viper Strike, I believe. So yes, Ubisoft are definitely emphasizing the squads. The key art of this year has Deimos and also all the squad leaders, including Nighthaven's leader, Kaze. And when I was sitting in the audience of SI and they were doing the Year 8 reveal, the squad icons were on all the screens at the top, even including Nighthaven. So the future of Team Rainbow does not lie in a brand new director to take up the mantle of 6. Rather, the already established operators that have been in the game for years or are still being introduced will be the ones carrying the team and story forward, hopefully allowing us to see more interactions with these operators in the squads, how they work. I actually did recently upload a video explaining every squad that is in Rainbow Six Siege lore now, and if you haven't checked that out already, I highly recommend doing so going into the future of Rainbow Six Siege in Year 8 and beyond. And if you want to check out more Rainbow Six Siege lore videos, just head to my channel where you will find a lore playlist. And so to end this video, I ask you the question: do you wish there will be another director of Team Rainbow going by the codename 6? Do you prefer that the operators have been broken down in the squads, with 4 operators now leading these squads and acting as their own directors for each squad? And what do you think about the very impactful end to the role of 6 and Harry himself? Sure, drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike it if you did not, subscribe if you're new, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have an incredible rest of your day. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.